I looked at some small details and hidden secrets in Tower Defense Simulator, from towers to maps to the literal creepiest secret area in the game, and I discovered some interesting things. Tower skins sometimes have hidden references. For example, the Intern Scout has the phrase "print hello world" on its t-shirt, referring to a very simple coding phrase which just tests if the output window is working. Compared to some of the other things here, it's not a super secretive detail. But now imagine this. You're in game playing a normal Molten round, and your teammate places this ace pilot. You don't think much of it, and eventually as the game goes on, they get some money and fully upgrade it. Except, something is off about this tower. And if you couldn't tell what, I wouldn't blame you, because that is supposed to be the Halloween ace pilot skin. However, it is hardly very noticeable. Its early levels are an orange color, but that's similar to the tower's other color swap skins. And the only other difference is its changed wing markings, which resemble pumpkins. Kind of. In reality, the plane flies so fast that your eyes probably won't have time to pick up the difference. Similar to something like Party Soldier, it's a cool minor detail which is kind of just a mini upgrade to the tower. But considering this was supposed to be a Halloween skin, it isn't great. I also discovered Ace Pilot has a specially designed bomb hangar animation, which I literally had never noticed before, because you can only see it from the underside of the plane. But much more importantly, inside the aircraft you have this little guy, I'll call him Percy, who flies the plane with expert precision, while wearing only a pair of goggles. But this small person actually also pilots two other towers. He drives the military base trucks, and even shoots from the upgrade level's truck bed, later manning the heavy gun on the tank. But for some reason, they added a special model for when he dies. This is a secret detail I could have done without, honestly. But again, this guy also flies the Pursuit Tower, where he's safe in the airspace, having a small control station and helmet gear, even getting a co-pilot on the final two levels. Truly an inspiration to us all. But as with towers, maps are also prone to having hidden secrets implemented by the creators. The Gilded Path map has a strange Easter egg, as behind the temple which spawns the enemies, there's this solitary rusted figure sitting behind a small exit to the temple, suggesting this might be a disillusioned zombie who decided not to fight the player, and people say this game doesn't have lore. This map has some other details, like a small black particle mirror inside the temple, and although it's hard to see, the Golden Titan does have its classic face. There are a lot of TDS maps, there's a few other interesting secrets. Take the Moonbase map, which has a small room containing two Roblox avatars, referencing the creators of the map. As far as I remember, this is one of the very few remaining dev references in the game, along with the Twitter plug on Toyboard, and it'll probably get removed if the map gets remade. This map also features the Earth in a far off view, but interestingly, this is not a static image, but rather a fully 3D modeled globe, which even has a weird pulsing effect. It's especially strange considering you would normally never be able to reach it. With the newer maps, there are still some cool details. The Chessboard map has a literal chess set, with certain zombies corresponding to the respective pieces. Then there's the Crossroads map, with a statue of... I don't know. Lastly, the Cyber City map has an electronic advertisement of some of the towers, and a small ghostly figure sitting on a bench, whose size and design imply that it is one of the Ghost series skins. But here's a more ordinary scenario. You place a normal tower like Sniper, and he starts failing to kill the zombies, except he's wearing his hat pointing the wrong way. There's one Sniper skin which always seemed a bit strange to me, in the Ghillie skin, because he wears the hat forwards, as opposed to all other variants. I've always wondered if this was a mistake when they remade the skin, or an intentional reference to the older design of the tower. There are some similar weird inconsistencies with other towers, like the Demoman having a different animation when using its regular and alternate skins, or the Crook boss for some reason using older versions of its model when displaying the blue and red skins. There's even another small effect for this tower with the Demon skin, as the horns have a slight luminous effect, which makes them glow in the dark. But if you've placed a tower, you might have noticed their weapons. Itself, that's not exactly an unknown detail. However, what you might not have noticed is that the weapons in the lobby stores are actually directly taken from some of these tower models. Notably, there's Mortar's giant toxic cannon, Slasher's knife, also the same model as the Murder Mystery 2 knife. These displays let you get a closer look at some of the models, like the Accelerator's laser cannon, probably the strongest weapon here. And on the shelf you can see some smaller details on it, like the hazard striping and multi-chambered energy barrel. There's also the armory with a few other weapons, and even a literal life-size tank from military base. Generally, I think it's kinda cool to use these models in the lobby itself, as it fits the theming well and potentially adds a bit to the lore. But something that really adds to the lore is the TDS Backrooms. Basically a hidden area under the lobby you can't access by normal means. Rather, you have to use some emotes and glitch down there. Personally, I used the Ice Cube emote while sandwiched in between this set of boxes, which I found works pretty well. The space itself is fairly creepy, with some dim lamps hung from the ceiling, and a slightly garish pattern on all the room's furnishing. The roof has a strange tiled pattern which resembles resembles a floor, making the room feel slightly disorientating, like you're upside down. Additionally, there are multiple twists and turns throughout the layout, so it's a sort of tiny maze. Luckily, there's no monster in here though. Overall, there's not any strict use for the room, but it's a cool Easter egg implemented by the developers, seeming to show that they are aware of the out-of-bounds lobby glitches. So overall, these are just some of the hidden details throughout Tower Defense Simulator, and if you want to see more, I would implore you to subscribe if you aren't. You know, it's free, very quick, and Percy would definitely do it. I don't know. Okay, bye.